Hello everybody, my name is Restive Toasty and welcome back to Satisfactory, where all of this, it's gotta go. We put together a whole thing, whole bunch of oil stuff last time, went through a couple of iterations, and now I have to get rid of all of it. So there's two things wrong with this. First is that we're running on the assumption that there is only like 900 or 600 oil per minute coming through. I forget exactly what I said the numbers were, but it was like 60 or 120 or something times 2.5. And those fluid things down there, I thought they were like 300 each, but actually it can be like 600 for the pure ones and then 300 for the bad ones. So first, this would need to be doubled up anyway. And second, we actually need to change the recipe because this is just turning directly into fuel, crude oil directly into fuel. But what we can be doing is turning crude oil into heavy oil residue at a better rate than we're getting here, and then turn the heavy oil residue into fuel, and overall that would make more fuel than we're making currently. And since it's making more fuel, it would be making more of this polymer resin, and then with more polymer resin, we'd be making more plastic and more rubber. So I seriously just need to take everything down and start over from scratch. Yay! First, we're gonna calculate what we need to actually do. So we're gonna be making heavy oil residue with this recipe here, turning 30 crude oil per minute into 40 heavy oil residue per minute. Since the fuel is the same amount coming from heavy oil residue and from the crude oil, if we can turn the crude oil into more heavy oil residue than we had crude oil previously, then we would be making more of the fuel. In this case, about 30% more. And then this polymer resin that comes with it, it's 2 for every 3 crude oil, which before it was like 3 for every 6. So we're also making more polymer resin, which again means we'll be making more plastic and more rubber. So let's do some calculations. For this 30 per minute, let's say times 3 and then times 10. So we would need 10 refineries in 3 rows, and that would get us 900 per minute, which is wrong, because we need 1800. So we need 6 rows of 10, or 3 rows of 20. How much space do we have here? This is our 11th one, which means we could do like 12, maybe 15 in a row. We need 60 total. What are the best ways to break that up? We can do 5 rows, but that's annoying. We can do 4 rows of 15, assuming 15 will fit, which with the amount of space we have here, I believe it will. But the annoying thing is we have 3 pipes coming in, so we'd have another lane that would just be like leftovers, and that's annoying. But it's 4 rows of 15 or 3 rows of 20, or I guess 6 rows of 10, but 6 rows would never fit here. I can maybe get 3 rows to work. 6 rows would absolutely never fit. Unless we put them on top of each other, which we could do. We're probably honestly gonna end up having to do that, honestly. Okay, fine. So we're gonna tear all of this out, make 6 rows of 10, and then we have to figure out the next problem, which is the fuel from the heavy oil residue. We're making 4 for every 3, which means for 1800, we're making 2400 heavy oil residue, which for this means that we need 40 machines, which is less than I expected. 40 machines, and what I was thinking is that could go in another building. So we're gonna take this down completely, we don't need it anymore, and then we're going to change the floor plan a little after we take everything out of here. Obviously, we're not gonna go this far, so we're gonna take out this extra space here, and then put another building that way, which then we put the other processing in. And then after the fuel is processed there, it can go up on top to fuel generators on that building instead. We can send the polymer resin upstairs in this building to be turned into plastic and rubber, and then to be turned into computers, circuit boards, things like that. And of course, this is going to have to change later because we're going to get turbo fuel. But really, we can just kind of expand that building rather than having it all in one place and then trying to expand here. Putting it in a separate building, the fuel stuff specifically, it makes it a bit easier to expand later on when I want to start using turbo fuel instead of regular fuel. Anyway, that's enough explaining. Time to just do it, I guess. First things first, we have to take everything here out. It's gotta go. Of course, first things first. Let's take out power. Oh, right. I forgot these generate power. Okay, I'll just cut off the oil. This will, thankfully, also solve the issue of all of this being off by half a foundation. We're also gonna have to put more water in here, because obviously we're going to be making more polymer resin, which means we're going to be consuming more of the water in order to do such a thing. All this work and effort, and it literally just isn't good, so I have to get rid of it all. At the very least, I don't have to get rid of the stuff that's already underneath. All I have to do is upgrade it to Mark II, which is not anywhere near as difficult. Alright, so we need 60 refineries for the first part, which means we need a lot more steel pipe, which to be honest is probably in here. But I need to make another one of these because I... Motors. Almost good. Very nearly good. Encased industrial beams. Almost good. Very nearly good. Steel pipe. Not really close. And copper sheets we are good on. Do I have more steel pipe? No, I do not, but I do have more encased industrial beams and more motors, which is enough. So I just need to get steel pipe. Let's make sure of where the middle is. 15, so -7. This one is the middle. Very cool, right here. This is the middle. And we're gonna have 3 rows, which normally would not work very good. But I have a plan. A strange and dastardly plan. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have some refineries facing inward on each side. Pretty much as close to the wall as we can get them. Hold on, I'm gonna mark this just to make sure I remember. It's the middle. As close to the wall as we can get them, as in like a foundation away from the wall. Right there is good. And then on the other side, do the same thing. Have it facing inward, right on this corner, 1 foundation away from the wall. And then we're gonna have 10 on both of those, up to here, good. And then we're gonna have some in the middle. And what's interesting about that is I need to fix the direction that is facing, thank you. It's gonna be alternating between which side it's facing. So one of them is gonna be facing this way, and then we're gonna turn it around, and then we're gonna turn it around, and so on and so forth. It does need to be exactly in the middle, which is this one. That little hump is right in the middle, and it's 1 meter from the end of this foundation, 1 meter from the end of this one, which means that there are 11 foundations between. Yes, okay, good. So that's the middle, and you can see the first one is facing to the right, and this one goes left, right, left, right, left. And that's the last one. Okay, so we're gonna have 1 pipe go in here, 1 pipe go here, and then split both ways, and then 1 pipe go in here. Okay, cool. Let's figure that out real quick. Where are the pipes again? Is it this one? No, it's this one. So one of them is going to split off on this side, probably this guy on the left since he's furthest back and that makes it the easiest. So right here, we're gonna have the guy, what's he called? Fluid buffer. Should I do an industrial one? If I do 3 of these, yes, I do still have enough. Okay, cool. Then sure, I'll do 3 of these ones. maybe. We might not actually have the space. Really? Oh, it's because I put a giant hole there. I forgot. My bad. Let's try that again. Okay, so we're gonna want it here. Is this fine? Does this work? It looks like it works, and can you go down in the same space, or do I need you to do something different? If I do that, can I get a pipe into you? Yes, I can. Okay, good. So we're gonna do the same thing with the middle. Oh, wait, never mind. We can't do the same thing with the middle because we're not gonna have the space. Okay, fine. We'll do the small ones. Fluid buff. What? You're telling me I could make the big ones but not the small ones? That's crazy. Why is it dark? I'm going insane. Oh, there we go. Okay. We have some. So just the small ones, and we're gonna have them set a bit farther back so that the one in the middle has the space it needs. Also, that needs to go somewhere else, thank you. So right here, roughly, we'll have a splitter right in the middle, and then the thing goes here, and then it splits to the two sides. So we're gonna wanna leave a bit of space. We're just gonna put it on this section, I guess? Somewhat tangential to this line. Very cool. And then the other one does a similar thing, just on the opposite side. Now, this has space. Yes, it does. Okay, cool. Very nice. And then these, they're gonna go up and then combine with the ones on the other side in whatever amounts they're supposed to, because we do know that they're gonna need a bit less. Like, we're getting 3 pipes in and 4 pipes out, so it is gonna be a little bit of a weird combination no matter what we do. This is making fuel from... No, this is making the heavy oil residue. This one. Okay. Was confused for a second. These ones are a bit closer in, but also we don't need to worry about any else coming out or going in on this side. This guy's in the way right now. Seriously? I can't put it there. Move everything to the next layer. So this is empty and I can actually put the stupid thing in. Okay, so now we put in this guy so that he lines up with the other ones, and then with this one, and then meh. So now this has to do something from underneath. This guy gets to go here. This guy gets to go there. And this guy can't see anything past this stupid parachute. There. Okay. Now that is just a kind of set out. It's a set, but it's not complete because we still need to take them and make them into the Mark II pipes, which is pretty seriously making me consider changing this a little bit because these might not be enough to handle a 600 per minute thing. I mean, like, you can move 600 per minute through them, but they only hold 400. So it takes less than a minute to fill it up completely, and it's just not very good. So I might end up changing these to the industrial fluid buffers and just changing the layout, but I'll worry about that in a bit. That's not right now. So that's layer 1. I may have just a little bit forgotten that we need to do 2 of those, because that's only 30 refineries, so we still need another 30. Let's see, what height do we want to do that at? Here, maybe? Let's see, how exactly do I want to do this? Can I? Oh, I can. That's very cool. Okay, I can just put this directly on top. So then, let me first grab or make, apparently, some modular frames, because I need more of them to have more of the guys. So, like that. And that, and that. And then we're going to switch that out for a junction that's going up and down, which is easiest if I just do this. Also, apparently I forgot some pipes over here. I mean, this all still needs to get made into Mark II, so this is kind of a waste, but all I'll need to carry is the plastic for fixing them later, so I may as well. Oh, right. I can't do this one yet because of this guy. Oh, but there's nothing in there anymore. Okay. So now what we do is we turn this way and try to line it up with that, which isn't working currently and isn't gonna work that way either. We need to have it set off by one, apparently. Now, does this work? Apparently, yes. Cool. Now this one, the pipe is too short. Huh. That is strange. Why is it too short on this one, but the other ones it's fine? It should be effectively the same. Okay, well, what if I go the other way, do this one first, and then have this guy totally definitely line up with there. That looks good. That looks fine. So now that is gonna be the one for the top level, and this is the one for the bottom level. Just put another floor hole in here. I think there works, right? If it was in the right spot, yes. So now we just basically copy what we have here on another floor. Now, this is gonna be a little weird. Let's see, hold on. I hope this works. No! Oh, that sucks so bad. Okay. Let's see if I can get this to work. There? I mean, that looks pretty even to me. So we get rid of that. And now this is fine? Probably, I think. So then, of course, we just put these out like normal. I need to remember where they were on the bottom. Okay. Oh, I need more copper sheets. Ah! Oh, that's not good. What the heck is that? Oh, okay. Please still be functional. I'll take it. I really need to move all this stuff over. Oh, no. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I'm actually out. I'm actually out of copper sheets. What the heck? That's really not good, huh? So, I guess I'm gonna need to let that sit for a little bit, huh? Is there anything I can do in the meantime? I mean, I guess I can start to figure out what I need to do with the fuel and whatnot. But I think that's more refineries, and more refineries means more copper, so let's take a look here. It was 1,800, correct? 1,800 crude oil per minute? Wait, no, hold on a minute. I'm confused. I need to make sure my numbers are right. Hold on. Because I might need to just fix everything that's over there anyway. It's not a full 1,800, is it? It's like 1,500 or something. You are a normal node. Normal, pure. So a normal node is 150 at 125% and 300 at 250%. So 300 plus 300 plus a pure node, which is double that, so 600. It's only 1,200. Wait, I don't need as much as I thought I did. I probably should have paid attention to that before I did a bunch of stupid stuff. Hold on a minute. Crude oil, we're getting 1,200 per minute, making this one, which is 1,600 heavy oil residue. 1,200 divided by 30. We only need 40 of them. What the heck, man? That's crazy. I don't know if I can divide that into 3 then. That doesn't work as good, huh? I don't want to completely get rid of one of these, but that might be my only choice, to be honest. To be fair, what I can do is get rid of this one in the middle, and then just change some of the pipes, and then I can combine them down there. The two that are 300, I can combine those into 600, and hopefully they maintain flow. I know that's not a thing they tend to do, but maybe just a little bit. It would save on power, and it would save on a lot of copper, to be honest. So that might just be what I end up doing, getting rid of one of the pipes completely. And then we can get rid of this whole set in the middle, and then the polymer resin just goes directly into some whatever it was. The polymer resin can be made into plastic and rubber with refineries. Let's see, with this one, it's produced at 20 per minute, and then with both of these, it's consumed at a total 100 per minute. So for one machine, or I guess two machines, one machine for plastic and one machine for rubber, it would take 5 of these would make 2 of these work. So we can take the first 5 and send them into, like, these 2 here, and then the second 5 go into that one and that one, and then we just get rid of the last 4 or something, and then do the same thing where we have this one and this one fed by the first 5 over there, and then this one and this one fed by the second 5 over there. And then this becomes water instead, like the water pipes that are down here somewhere. Now, I'm not 100% sure where they are, but that seems like the best way to go about this. And then we can just send some water up to the top to do the rest of it. Okay, this isn't too bad. We just have to move around some pipes a little. So these guys would not be going that way. They would be going from the other side, which will work out in a bit. And then I'll take out one of those pipes. We'll move these around a little, and that should get us going pretty well. Okay, and let's see how much water these actually need. 60 for every set of rubber and plastic, so 240 total, which is just the 2 things over here, those 2 down there at regular speed. But then we're gonna need double that. We're gonna have one pipe, a 300 pipe is fine. That's gonna be the 240 for this one. And then we have the junction right about here. And then the other one can just go here. And that'll go up to the second floor and do pretty much the same thing. So that's the water connected. This might need another pump on it. I'm not sure. But also, all of the pumps are offline anyway, so that would explain why it's not working. This is definitely gonna need another pump to go all the way up there. I might change these 2. As in, I'll definitely change these 2 because I'm apparently already doing it. There you go. And we can just make the same changes on the top. I just realized that after I turned on the thing for more copper sheets, I forgot to move it so that it was going into one of the containers. So now I'm just voiding a bunch of copper sheets, even though I need copper sheets. Hooray. Where am I? There's a bunch of iron here? Oh, I see. Okay, I know where I am now. I got lost on the way trying to get back to my base. Let's go back this way. You know what I like? I like the change they made where you can drive around in this fully open air vehicle and not get killed by the smog. That's a good thing that they did, I think. The smoggy poison rocks, the fart rocks, it doesn't kill you when you're driving the Explorer anymore, which doesn't make any sense, but it is very cool. And I don't care if it doesn't make any sense, because it is very cool, and it makes it so much easier to navigate. Yeah, see, all these copper sheets are going down this belt, and then they're going into this splitter, and getting split off into the nowhere. Can it not go in there? What the heck? What the heck? Oh, a creature is in the way. A creature. Can you move? Ah! Thank you, thank you. So now the last one copper wire, apparently, and then the copper sheets, they're gonna go this way. Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna actually start building up some copper sheets, which I still have to wait for, because I forgot to make it make any sense. There we go. Everything's up. Everything's in. All the recipes are correct, both on top and on bottom. All of the pipes are connected. They just don't have pumps. They still need pumps, but that's about it. So the next step is gonna be to fix this bit real quick, because there's gonna be a gap here that we don't need the fix-it foundation for. And I'm gonna put a wall in. There's gonna be a wall in there. There's gonna be a wall. It's gonna be a concrete wall because I feel like it. I gotta quit hitting my microphone, man. Right there. And then across. And then up. And across again. And then we're gonna have a big section, wherever it ends up being, that's gonna be where all of the pipes go across. I'm not sure where yet. The sides are gonna remain open. I think I am also gonna put a wall on this side over here. It's gonna be on the actual outside instead of being inset because there's stuff in the way. I should probably get the belts in before I worry about the power, because the power is much easier to work around. So let's see, we're gonna make another level, another level. There's gonna be another one that's going above the refineries on top once I get out of their way, I think. Can I do this and it not hit those? Yes, I can, which is good. So up here, we're gonna have all of the different machines that we're gonna need for turning the plastic and rubber into other stuff. Salami. So we're gonna have 8 of both types of machines that make 20 per minute of both. 160 plastic per minute and 160 rubber per minute. Let's see what we can make with that. Can I make computers yet? I cannot. I need to get some circuit boards first. That's copper and plastic, 30 per minute to make 7.5 circuit boards per minute. I don't use many circuit boards, so this basic is probably good enough for the amount that I'm actually gonna use. So we have 130 left. We can probably take out 30 per minute because I use plastic. Currently, the rubber is not used to make anything, but it can be used to make a lot of things, apparently. So I should probably actually go see what alternate recipes I can make right now. Oh yeah, we also need to set aside some plastic for containers so I can have some excess fuel later. Right now, I'm gonna use all of the fuel for power, but then later down the line, when I start making turbo fuel, I'll set aside some of it for personal use with a jetpack and whatnot. Although I do think I need some packaged fuel for some of the unlocks too. I might be wrong about that. Yeah, no, I need to get some packaged fuel, I think actually to unlock the turbo fuel. Let's see. Meh. Please give me something interesting. Oh. I can make diluted packaged fuel, but I don't think that's worth much, is it? Imagine if this becomes the most efficient way. Wait a damn minute. What the heck? What is this? Hold on. What? Oh, I don't know how to make packaged fuel. Can I figure that out real quick? Sure. Let's see. Packaged fuel. 40. It's 40 per... What? This is crazy. Diluted packaged fuel. It's 30 heavy oil residue per minute into 60 packaged fuel per minute, right? And then we can turn 40 packaged fuel per minute, 60 packaged fuel per minute into 60 fuel per minute. That's actually crazy. That's double. It's 2 heavy oil residue. It's 2 fuel for 1 heavy oil residue. That's insane. And all it needs is a canister loop. Like, we don't need to be constantly making the packages. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get this one, and we're just gonna check them all out right next to each other, because that'll make it way easier. Here, let's see what it would have been the normal way, right? So we're making heavy oil residue this way. We're turning 30 crude oil per minute into 40 heavy oil residue per minute. 1200 crude oil into 1600 heavy oil residue per minute total. And then what we were gonna do is turn that heavy oil residue directly into fuel, which is 60 to 40, a weird number. It's like 11.25 or something, 11.3, 11 something somewhere, I don't know. But that's 11 to 1200-ish. Wait, these numbers are different. So here it says 60 per minute, but it says 6,000 and 40 to 4,000. But then with the packaged one, it says 2,000 to 40 and 2 to 40. Instead of like 4,000 to 40 and 4 to 40, I guess. Okay, hold on. I should probably compare the 2,000 number, huh? Shouldn't this just be the same? I mean, maybe it's just different in the packager, right? Because this might be way less OP than I'm thinking if it's the packager recipe is different. There's no way they'd make it more than double the other option, right? Okay. Or maybe not, because this is 1,000 to 30, but this is 2,000 to 40. Maybe that's the amount that goes in the package. This is so confusing. 2 packaged fuel turns into 2,000 actual fuel, and that's like 2,000 cubic meters of fuel, I think. And 1,000 cubic meters of heavy oil residue turns into 2 packages of fuel. So 1 to 2 and then 2 to 2 or 1 to 1. So it does actually just double? That's crazy. I really hope I'm right about that. Okay, we're gonna do this one, and if it sucks, then it sucks and I'm sad, but we're not gonna worry about that. We're just gonna go with this recipe chain and hope it's very, very awesome. Because that is actually like crazy good if that's the case. Unless there's another way to make diluted fuel and I just haven't found that recipe yet. Which is also possible, to be fair. Oh right, I needed recipes for rubber. Whoops. Things to make with rubber. I think right now I'll still do half and half and I'll just leave the rubber how it is. But later down the line I can change it to use more rubber for like I know there's one where you can take rubber and petroleum coke and turn that into circuit boards. Although, how do you make petroleum coke? That's leftover heavy oil residue, which we're not gonna have. So maybe that's not useful at all. We're just gonna leave the rubber on its own. We'll send it up, but it's just gonna go into a storage container. Now the plastic is gonna be used to make a couple of things, which I might have to make first and then get the next tier, because I need to be able to make computers and I don't have that capability yet. So let's see, the plastic and rubber are gonna be coming in at about this point here. What I can do is combine them all at the top, and then they'll just come in like here through this port right there, and then this port right there. But it's gonna be over here roughly, so then we just have this whole floor. The rubber, again, is just gonna go into a storage probably over here on this side, and then the plastic can go over here to be turned into other stuff. We need some to go to a constructor for packages. Empty canisters. Takes 30, makes 60. So we only need the one constructor. Let's see what else plastic can be used for right now. The containers and circuit boards. Great. So I think we're gonna have 2 assemblers for the circuit boards. Maybe 3. One of them can be just for the circuit boards, and then 2 of them can be going into a manufacturer to make the computers. So let's just say the plastic is gonna come up right here, and the rubber is gonna come up over here. Firstly, we can have a constructor just right here, and this will be for the canisters. For now, first and foremost, most of these are gonna go over there for turning the fuel into the packaged fuel. So this one, empty canisters, right there. This is gonna be 160 per minute, so at least a Mark III. And only 30 per minute is gonna go in here, but we're just gonna manifold it because it's way easier. And then let's see, we have 3 of these assemblers in a row, and we are gonna need some copper, but we can do some of that production like in this area since we're not gonna be using it for the rubber or anything. And then the rest of the plastic can just go out that way to go into a container with the rubber and currently the canisters. So these are all gonna be making circuit boards. In total, this is gonna take about 90 per minute? Yeah, 90 for the 3, 30 for this, so that's 120 total, which means we're gonna have about 50 plastic left over. And this is also gonna take 45 copper sheets, which is 90 copper per minute. Where is the nearest copper node? Probably quite far away, to be honest with you. Okay, that one. That's not good. So we are gonna have to use this one, unless... Can I speed up the ones that are over here? Because if I can speed those ones up, it might be easier to just have one of them do the steel copper and then have another one do the copper for this factory and just have it go all the way across the bottom to get there. Okay, yeah, there's 2 of them. How much are you making? Obviously, it's not really all being used. You're making 92 and a half, and you're making also 92 and a half. So just one of these would be good at like 150%. Now, the only issue is I cannot double this one because it's already over 150%. So maybe if I got... Oh, it's already a Mark II miner. I would need a Mark III miner. There's this copper, there's the copper that's over there, but honestly, I want to use this copper for like an actual copper thing. There is copper over here, but it's impure too, just like these ones. Well, still, I can get that to 90, I know that now. So what I might do, since there looks to be a path here, if I can figure out how to get a truck up there, then I'll make that a path and just have it deliver along this way like this tractor is. And since this is so shallow, I might actually just be able to drive across. Yeah, just like this, because I could drive across this with the Explorer when I fell down that one time. So if I can get the truck down here along the same path this tractor takes, and then just go a different route, maybe it'll have to go down like this way and get across. But I can put down one of the legs like over here. Maybe one of the legs already is over there. If I turn directly around. Yeah, so there's a leg kind of in this area-ish. So I can just have a truck station near that and take the copper off of that. All right, so I'll just use this one then. And since it's an impure, it's not really going to be useful for much else. Honestly, I might just use all of the copper that's in that and then have extra copper sheets being made over here too, just because I need more of it. Or I might need more copper later too, so just having the extra dedicated purely to the one thing could be nice. And then this, again, since it's a pure node, that one can be for all the basic copper stuff like the wire and the cable and the standard amount of sheets. Okay, very cool. And then since that truck station is so close to the fuel, I can just have some packaged fuel set aside for it. Again, for now, since I can't make the computers, all I'm gonna need is the copper sheets, which is 90 per minute. So since each of these makes 10 per minute, I'm gonna need 9 of them. Go figure. Wait. No, hold on. I need 4.5 because I need 90 copper per minute and 45 copper sheets per minute. Okay, easy enough. I love this. I learned recently you can make these shorter if you have a like a place for it to go already. It doesn't have to like skip one and then go like I've been doing. Because like see, it starts out there and only goes up apparently. But if you do this, then you can have it stick in there. And it only costs 2 instead of 4. Okay, I thought there would be a little bit of a downgrade to that, but hey, I'll take it. Also, it's really funny, so there's a plus. And then this one's gonna be full speed. And now we're gonna employ that fancy technique once again by putting this down here, I guess, and then doing that. There we go, okay. And then we're gonna fix this because it's ugly. This one gets to go down here. And then down the line, probably gonna put our manufacturer here, or 2 manufacturers across this, and then maybe have another level for other different types of construction for whatever else a manufacturer needs. I think it needs screws. Okay, nice. I like it. It's pretty neat, not so terrible and weird and awful. So, very cool. Okay, so now let's real quick get the rubber and plastic piped up. Let's see, since these don't have a fluid output, we're going to have a merger right here. Hopefully this fits well enough. Can I get this to connect? No, I cannot, which is a problem and means I need to move the pipes. And since these are identical to the stuff downstairs, well, the stuff downstairs is gonna go just up, right? Yeah, no, that'll be fine. The ones downstairs are fine, but these ones need to move out by a couple of meters. Let's say right about there is probably good. Okay, a merger right here is gonna be along this, right? Yeah, right on the middle. Okay, so then we're gonna have a floor hole in front of each of them, and then they're gonna go up into another not quite floor hole, but probably merger for the right ones. Okay, there we go. So here's the top. They split to 2 different sides. This is the plastic, I believe. That's the rubber. And then right here they cross over because that right there is the rubber and this side here is the plastic. So it crosses over right there, and then all the plastic goes this way, all the rubber goes this way. And then down here at the bottom, of course, we have it. So on this side, it's blocking the output for the liquids, but there's no liquid output, so it doesn't matter. On the other side, it's a little tighter. As you can see, it comes down right next to it, but if we use one of these, it'll still make it. And we can just use like one of the shorter ones, so it goes right out across there. And it still makes it just perfect with every single one of them, of course, because they're all in the same positions relative to each other. So everything there is out of the way. It all can get to where it needs to go. And all of the plastic and rubber is going up to the final level. Well, the semi-final level, because there might be another one above that for dealing with iron and stuff if we need to. But for now, it's good where it is. So the next thing to deal with, I suppose, would be the polymer resin. And the polymer resin is going to be pretty easy because literally all we have to do is combine like these 5 and then split them into 2. So we're barely doing anything, honestly. There we go. This is good. This is funny. I like this game. These tiny things, this is the best discovery I've ever made. Cool. So that's all the polymer resin, which is nice. Okay, now here, we're gonna make all of these go into a place. These ones, sorry. Each of these is making 40 heavy oil residue per minute. How many, or how much, did the other things take? The packaged fuel, it takes 30 per minute, which is a little annoying. That means a group of 3 of these guys goes to 4 packagers, which is not a perfect conversion because we have 40 of these guys, and that's not divisible by 3, which means we are going to have a little bit of strangeness with our packagers. Now, should I have 40 things individually go across, or should I condense them first? Condensing them first means less pipe and most likely less power consumption because I don't need as many pumps. So I'll probably do that. So this is 3 combined for a total of 120. And then this will go to 4 of the packagers. We'll have 3 of these for each row, and then a smaller one from each row that could hypothetically all combine into one and just go to like 5 or 4 1/3. rather than all going into a single machine or something. But that just gives us 4 pipes for every row, and there's 4 rows. So I might just do that and have 16 of them go, which is good because like it could just go right here. Then we'll figure out where the walls are, like right there, and just do this one, 4 of them, and then it goes up by 2 walls too. This gives us good positioning for everything else too. So like this one would come across into that one, and then one would go on top to that one, and then that one, and then the tiny one would go up there. Same with all the others. The tiny one would be on top, and then they would just combine whenever they go in to the other side. Okay, yeah. But first I need sheets. So there we go, got all the pipes over. In here we can see what I did to the wall. Honestly, I think it looks pretty dope. It's a lot, but it's cool though, right? Yeah, this is how it looks from up here. Very cool. Of course, there's nothing in it right now. Nothing has been running for quite some time. So next, we figure out what we need to make the thingy things, the guys. We're turning it into packaged fuel with this recipe, correct? It takes 30 heavy oil residue per minute, and we're producing 1,600, right? Yes, 1,600. So 53 and a third in total, divided by, oh, this actually doesn't work because it's not 16 even ones. How many were these? I forget. So 120, since it's 30 per minute, it covers 4 of them. So 4 times 12 is 48, plus, that's what, 160? So that's probably the other 5 and a third that those 4 do. So each one of these pipes has to go to a set of 4 packagers. Sorry, refineries. It is refineries, isn't it? Oh boy. 54 refineries? I think I might need a little more space than this. Thankfully, it only produces a physical output, and it's the same physical output, so we can put them kind of close together, I think. Packaged fuel. Yeah, it's made in the refinery, and it produces packaged fuel. We need 54 refineries. That's what I thought. Okay, I really don't think I have enough copper sheets, and I might not have enough of some of that other stuff either. Okay, the pipes should be easy enough. Yeah, the beams, where are the beams? This one. That one's good too. Motors. Oh, we need a lot of motors. Where do we even want these to go? If I just have 4 of them, like, facing outward this way, right there, and then 3 more. That's good for that first pipe right there. I guess I can do the same thing on the other side. Although, this is in a position where I can expand it that way, and not much that way. But I'll probably just do this lengthwise, or vertically. We're going to expand this a little bit. Just have a really long extension on this one, apparently. Oh, of course. I need 1 more, and then that'll be those 3 right there. Not the top one, but the 3 on the bottom. Wow. Every time. Oh, I'm about to be out of fuel again. That's not good. That was fast. Okay. So this is another 3, those 3 there. And now we just need the 3, 6 in the middle, which I guess I'm probably just gonna have to do on a second level. Unless I just make it longer, I can just make it longer. That is a thing I can do, and just have them go straight down the middle. Yeah, I think what I'll do is just have them all on the same level, and just go down the middle, which is gonna be funny. But like, I'll have them all spread out, like flatten out on the wall, and then like drape down or something. I'm sure that'll probably look cool, I think. It's gonna be all the way out to here for the first couple of things. And then I guess we can have those 4 just come over to the top, go that way, maybe. I wish I had more copper sheets so I could actually test this, but I really don't think it's gonna be enough. So that's those 4. Yeah, I only have 2 copper sheets now, so I think what I'll do is drop a bunch of stuff down here, and then the rest of this I'll fill up with concrete and the steel, and we'll just make the whole floor over there, because sure, why not? So I've done this bit here, and then a whole bunch of this line. Yeah, see, a lot more of that is covered now, and as you can see, we now have more copper sheets. Only enough for the rest of the refineries, which means that either I wait on this, or I wait on the refineries. I think I'm gonna wait on the refineries, because I want to get this going quick, and then the rest of it is gonna be way easier from that point forward. And right now I'm also gonna move these a bit, so that they're actually in the right spot, because the first one needs to go here, so it can come out of there and just go into that guy. Same thing on the other side, except it actually needs to be earlier, and I didn't think about that, but that one will probably just come straight down, but we can get the other ones kind of working, just like this, like we had it before, and then let's see how we want to get the rest of these around. I guess we could just do it the same way we did before, or we can have these middle ones come out, around, and then down to this one, maybe? I feel like it would be more visually interesting if they were different here than it was in the other one. So I might just do that, you know? So these 2 are gonna be the middle ones, those ones there, which means this one, wants to go there, but that's not gonna make it easy for us, is it? That works fine. Then see this one, we take this wall out, move it outward a little bit, and then put a smaller wall on top so that these guys can get out. Looks like we are gonna need another wall here, which is gonna make this a little annoying, because how do I get to that? Maybe that's fine, actually. I don't know where it's supposed to be. I feel like that's wrong. That's because it is. Okay. Is that better? Yes. I think. So then we'll get rid of that. Get these back to where they're supposed to go. And then we want to have them come down and then go in to sit flat against this wall. So then just get rid of these. And then that comes down into here. Does that look interesting? Yes, but it still, like, leaves an open space that I don't like. But I can't really move that up, even though I feel like I totally should be able to do that. Okay, maybe we do just do it the same way it was before. It's the same weird issue where I can't get it to make that number of turns in that amount of space. I guess it's fine. It's not the prettiest, but it's not awful, so sure. So then that guy just goes in there instead of going to here, which does make him annoyingly shorter than all of the rest of them. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Pretty sure they're still gonna be different lengths, yeah? But at least they're somewhat evenly different lengths instead of just one of them being different than all of the rest of them. Yeah, see? They're equal on both sides. Okay, cool. This actually needs a splitter, doesn't it? Hold on, because it has to go to like 4 of them. This does give space still for like one of these conveyor lifts, so we don't have to worry about that. May as well just get the pipes that I already have going, because we're not gonna have enough to get the other guys, the other refineries. And why is this one so far off? What? It's off in a different direction now. What is this? What the heck, man? So we still need to account for 6, and then those 4 that are on top that we still can't really do anything with. Which means I need, at minimum, another 300 copper sheets. Here, I forgot to test earlier whether I could drive across this area back here. I want to see if I can do that. Yeah, that's fine. I'll land somewhere manageable. Yeah, so right over here, Oh, please, 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 please. Okay. Oh, jeez. All right. Anyway, my plan would be over here somewhere. I'll have a station where my truck station can go. And I want to check where I can drive across. So most likely this I cannot drive. So I would have to go around here. So from this island to this island. Oh, right. Right, I see. I need to go around that little section there, apparently. So this is fine. Yeah. And then around here, and then over this gap in the water, right? Yeah, this is all super shallow. And then we get up here. That's still not the map button. We get up here or over here and just like drive down the coast until we get to where the coal truck is. And then we take a route that's in here somewhere to get up there. Although I should probably put up some barriers of some kind to indicate where I cannot drive before I try to make the route. Anyway, I need a little more than 300 copper sheets, and I have, hey, 336. There we go. I have more than I needed, but not by much, which is enough for the refineries, but definitely not enough for all the pipes that I'm gonna need. Oh, problem again. I forgot to pick up any foundations, so I'm not actually gonna be able to place out many of these. Nope, we make it. Easy. Actually, I think that was the last of those we could have made. Yeah, and now I have very few copper sheets with which to run these. And then we still need the other 6 at the end. You know? How horrible and awful am I feeling today? How evil am I gonna decide to be? Because I could put them in the middle on top of where the pipes are. No, I really don't want to do that. Okay. We're just gonna have to wait a minute for some more concrete to come through, and then we'll put out another row of these guys, because I think these are only 4-ish. Yeah, like 4 foundations long, 3.5. And I could put them in a row still and just have them like come in and do whatever, but I don't want to do that. I will put them like this way. So splitting the middle here, let's do this, and this, 2, 3, 2, 3. So then the 4 are gonna come down the middle, combine when they get here, and then split into these 6. Of course, these are gonna be slowed down a little bit. They're not gonna be the same speed as these ones. Of course, these ones still don't have a recipe yet. So let me copy that to all of them. But these ones need to be like 5 1/3 divided by 6. There we go, 53 1/3 per minute. That makes sense, probably. So that's all of these ones are gonna be taking that much, where the rest of them take a full 30 and 60. This one takes 26 and 53 and a bit. Really hope that works. If not, it sucks. Everything sucks forever and always. Now for the design of this one, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I want the walls to be intercepting these guys. I'm not sure where. Possibly right here, so that it goes straight through that and looks fairly reasonable. See, because you get a light on the outside, it looks bigger there, goes up right there, right? The only weird part is that, but I think that's manageable. Or I could move it forward by 1, and then this won't be there, but the rest of it will, and that won't have an issue at all. Like, right here, possibly. So it'll look like this, which is fine, I guess. So there's this method, which leaves those things out there, but you get this full wall of stuff, which looks interesting. Or this one, which doesn't leave the little nubs. You get half the circle, no extra protrusion, and you don't get any of the wall in at all. It's just this little bit in front. And then we only get the packaged fuel out, so I can just like push it down into the floor, and it won't significantly hurt the design. I think I like it farther back, so you get the full wall, and then those little nubs, I can either ignore those or get used to them. I think I would get used to them faster. So we'll have the wall going across here where this one is. Probably, yeah, it's gonna have to move over to meet with this one at a corner. But I think I'll have like a foundation on this corner right here, so it won't be as big a deal. And then it becomes a longer extension and not quite as wide as that one, so it doesn't look so weird. Good ideas, good thinking, good brains. Now, once again, the only issue is I do not have any copper, and I need actually all the copper. I got one more setup, and now I have one copper sheet. Well, I guess I just have to wait some more. Okay, I gave it like a little while. I just went and ate dinner, basically. But now we have all of the refineries and almost all of the pipes in. All we need is those 4 up there, which I think I'm just gonna combine them right where they are and then bring them down or something, or bring them down a little bit and then combine them here and then just bring it across the front, I guess, maybe. If I do that, like bring it out here, one of these, like that, one like that, one like that. Firstly, can you reach there? Yes. Yes, you can. And now I need to get those 2 connected to the ones that are up top. And hopefully this will actually work. I don't really understand why it does this. Interesting. But like this way, it went inside. Noodle, it goes through things, no matter what direction I have it go. And then the horizontal to vertical, it sends it all the way out here, which is most certainly quite interesting. I might just have to move these down so this can come out and then corner. Same with that one, although I might have to like move them closer together too. Something like that. This one goes there, and this one goes there, and then that one goes to that guy. Hopefully in a way that he doesn't look terrible. That doesn't seem like it's gonna be an option. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move this down a little. And then hopefully here is good, maybe? Excuse me? Why? Can someone please explain to me what Auto 2D means? I don't know what Auto 2D is trying to do literally ever. What is this? What? Why does it already look ridiculous? I haven't even placed it with Auto 2D, that's crazy. Okay, because I can do that, and that lines up with the one where we want it to go to. Almost cool. Very close to cool. Why does it do that? That, but then up by 1? Okay, see, this looks a tiny bit nicer, but I really wish this would just go straight. Oh, well, it can do that apparently. Does that look nicer? Yes, yes it does. That looks way nicer. Good. Now we just have to figure out this one. If I do this, right there, and then how, yes, see, that is exactly what I wanted. Yes, there we go. That is exactly what I was talking about. Thank you. Let me get rid of this because it doesn't look right. And it's literally just floating, and it's not supposed to be doing that. Don't do that. That looks really cool, actually. That is awesome. Okay, now this guy goes in here, and there, I guess. He just goes at that height, all the way down the middle. So that's all of those pipes. Let me just go in order again and see what I have and haven't done yet. Oil comes in down here in 2 pipes. One of these 3 pipes gets converted into a water pipe instead of an oil pipe and is brought along with these ones. So most likely this one gets converted since it's closest and can just go up there and then copy what they're doing. It's gonna go along there, and at some point over here, it's gonna have to turn into packaged water. Speaking of which, I have to figure out how much water it's gonna be using. This one here, it is 30 heavy oil residue per minute and 60 packaged water per minute, which does not fill me with hope. Ah yes, this is what I expected. 60 packaged water per minute takes 60 water per minute. So we need 3,200 water per minute for this, which means one pipe is not gonna cut it even in the slightest. We're gonna need a whole other facility just for the water. What the heck? Let me see this. Okay, so 3,200 water per minute. That is a lot. 3,200 with this means 3,200 empty canisters per minute, which if we're gonna cycle it is fine. Packagers, 3,200 divided by 60. We need, well, hey, another 54 packagers. Cool. Needs a lot of rubber, apparently. How big are you? You are actually 1 foundation by 1 foundation, which is phenomenal. Where will I be putting this? Do I put it on the side here? So the water can come up on this side? It's probably smarter and better that way. Don't want to put it in here, because that defeats the purpose of this whole thing. I guess it can just be 54 in a row. Might need to be 2 rows, otherwise it'll end up really, really long. Yeah, this is where it would be if it were 2 rows, and this is where it would be if it was just 1 row. Personally, I think that's a little much. So we're gonna do 2 rows, starting, let's say, here. We want to leave that outside one free, so we'll have stuff come up in here. The packagers are gonna be here and here? Is that enough space? I don't think it is. I might need to put them on top of each other. Move it in by a bit. This is where the stuff comes up. Packager here, and then there's gonna be another layer where the packagers go over the top. But I need a bunch of other stuff for the packagers, so. Okay, so all of these are going to need this recipe. They're making packaged water, and because I don't hate myself much, we're gonna be putting all of the actual belting and logistics underneath. You know, in the logistics area, where the logistics are supposed to go. So we'll just have a shack over here with some stuff in it. Well, this is most certainly not going to be a short task. So I am once again going to just do it real quick. And a little while later, we have pipes. Lots and lots of pipes. Down here you can see where I had them all go across. Now, I have discovered one problem. The Mark II pumps, by the way, I did unlock the Mark II pipes, and I think manufacturing, because I needed to make a bunch of heavy modular frames to get the Mark II pipes, but I unlocked them, so manufacture and Mark II pipes. The problem with Mark II is the pumps take heavy modular frames, and even with the Mark II pumps, we would need a lot of heavy modular frames. So I think I'm only going to use this in a few places. For example, I can put it underneath on this right before it's about to go up, and that'll make sure it actually goes all the way up. Because like, if I show you here real quick, if I get a Mark I pump that's going that way, it doesn't make it all the way up. I'd have to put another one on there, and that would look weird. So I'd rather put a Mark II pump down here, which means that we need at least 6, because there are 6 pipes. 3 of them, these first 3, contain 600 water per minute and cover 10 each, which each one takes 60, I believe. Yeah, they each take 60, so that takes 10. And then the rest of them are doing 480 per minute and covering 8 of them. So we're gonna need at least 6 Mark II pipeline pumps, and then the rest of it is all gonna be the Mark I, which means we need to go get a bunch of rotors and a bunch of copper sheets. Then the issue with the Mark I pumps is they use more power. It's 4 megawatts as opposed to 8 for each Mark I pump, but they do less than half the height that a Mark II pump does. So it's like 20% less efficient. Although, to be fair, we are going to be making a lot of power, so I think it's probably worth it. especially how much extra power we're gonna get for the water that's coming down here. Now, another thing I only just now thought of is we are gonna need just as many, or almost as many, unpackagers for the fuel, which is gonna be annoying. I know for a fact I'm gonna need at least some, so I'm gonna have to have a storage out here, probably 2 storages, honestly, maybe more. Because right now, our belts only do 480 per minute, and we need a storage for each belt. Since it's taking the same number of canisters, 60 per minute, but we can only do 480 per minute, so we're definitely gonna need more than 6 belts. Yeah, technically only 7-ish, but still. Which I guess I can do in a facility out here, just like a little one of these, or this size most likely, with a storage wall out here that sends everything that way. How does this look if I have something there going up between every single one of these? Because if I get this guy to go out here, right? Does that look better than if they just went straight into the ground? That is my question. Honestly, yeah, no, I kind of prefer the snorkel. Sounds weird, but I definitely prefer the snorkel. So then what we can do is have the conveyor lifts sitting between each refinery, and then obviously the refinery on the end. We'll have one just right next to it. Looks better than having it go up like that. It can be like right up against the wall, so it's close. And then that'll just go up to the second floor, which is going to be on this level up here. And that's where we'll have the unpackagers. Each of these is making 60, and I assume each packager takes 60 to unpackage. Yeah, it takes 60. So then each refinery gets a packager, or an unpackager anyway, and then the packages themselves can come down to this end and then go into that facility thing over there, and then split among these guys. We do still need to get the ones on the other side, and also these 6, which we probably will do something similar with, although they are like ever so slightly less, but we can also just slow down the packagers by the same amount. Another thing, since these are going to be enclosed, we're going to have a wall along here. I'm just going to send them pretty much straight up, although I might actually have it in the middle here. I don't think it'll work this way. No. But I guess we can like have it out here, then go up. We're going to need more industrial beams apparently. Imagine if this doesn't work. There we go. Okay. So then we have these go the other way in. Interestingly, they are directly across from each other. I actually didn't expect that. Very interesting. I think I will put out a form of barrier here, just because. Speed! See, oh, there's the problem. They actually have to go the opposite direction, which, you know, I should have thought about, because there is essentially no feasible way to make that work in a reasonable space. I can do that, but that looks stupid. Here is what we're gonna do. What are we gonna do? I don't have any good ideas. All my ideas are bad. Oh, hold on. I just had a really good bad idea. Here is my really good bad idea. It can just run all the way across to the other side. I know it sucks, but all of the lifts get to stay in the same spot. I don't have to move anything, and it's just, you know, it's one over from what it would normally be. It'll work. It's just a little long, I guess. Now, let's figure out the belting for these guys. Should be fairly simple-ish. Just need 6 belts up to 480, and then we're gonna figure out the pipes, but those are probably just gonna go straight up. I need to remember how much fuel per minute the fuel generators take. Isn't it like 20? So then each one of these has to go to 3 fuel generators. But let's figure out the belts first. Probably should go from back to front. Let's see what these guys do. It's 53 1/3 times 6, right? Or it's supposed to be. So that's actually only 321, which means they can all go on one belt. That will go straight down the middle. And then these guys, 60, 480 divided by 60 is 8. So we put 8 of these on a belt. And then on the 8th one, it goes that way and then turns to go with the rest of them. I think I'm gonna have it come down in this area to avoid that. And then it'll be closer to that guy anyway, so it's exactly where it needs to go. That makes 5 in the center, plus these 2 on the side, 7 total. 7 means not a perfect hole. I guess we can say we want one end to be here. So what I can do is this. That's one side. And then we bring this over here. Bring this one over from, let's just say here so we know where we're supposed to be. Then each of these ones turns in. So our final point is here-ish. We take a wall and then move it over. Cool. So then we can do like that. These 2 will have normal walls. This section will expand over, and then the normal walls continue here. Does this look terrible? No, just moderately weird, but manageably so, I think. But that doesn't look too bad, and it all functions, of course. Then the pipes go up to the next floor, or maybe a different building, like one over here, so we can use a different building if we want to do the turbo fuel, because I don't want this one to be much taller, especially not much taller than that one, because then it starts to look weird. This is supposed to be the long and small extension of that, and if this gets really tall, then that doesn't make any sense. But these all go down, and of course that's running into things, because why would it not be? That would just be too easy now, wouldn't it? That would make this game enjoyable to play. We can't be having that. Is that terrible? No. And now we're not gonna be hitting anything. Let's go. So we're gonna have 7 of these storage containers. 1 for each belt, obviously. I think I'm gonna use the conveyor walls, which means that we need 1 here, here, and here. 1 in the middle, and then 1 here, here, and here. Conveyor wall here, and then triple conveyor walls here. And I can actually shrink this area pretty considerably. So this is going to be made into a concrete walls, but not right this second. And then each one of these will cover 8 of those, right? Because it's 8 of the ones up there and then 8 of those. And then this guy will cover 6 of them all slowed down, which we might as well just make these guys that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 6th one does not need it. And then obviously here, the next one comes in and goes for 8 instead of 6. I'm curious as to why the walls are vibrating whenever I have one of these out, or just whenever I look at a particular angle. That's a little weird to me, I think. I think just a little strange. What if I turn around? Does it still do it? Yes. If anybody knows what that is, I would love to also know what that is. It's not concerning at all. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not concerned. You're concerned. Methinks we're gonna have these belts run under here. So that all goes down there. This one goes out this way, probably up there. And then the rest of them go that way to come up underneath. For example, here and here. Yeah, you get the gist. Man, my recording stopped working. It just friggin' deleted or whatever. And now I gotta fix this stupid thing. What happened is I ran out of space with the recording, and when that happens, it always causes the video or the recording to be really long, like longer than my editing software can actually process. So in my editing software, it says it's like 35 hours long or whatever, and it makes it almost impossible to actually do anything, because as soon as you start cutting that however 30-hour long footage, the software itself gets incredibly laggy and can no longer do anything. So what I seriously have to do is I have to go in with the broken piece, cut it down to length in the editor, export that to my recordings folder, and then use that in the editor when I actually go make the video. It's honestly kind of ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like it. Okay, so that's all those belts connected up. Now I just gotta get these ones. Great. Oh, problem. I do need to be able to split the containers into all of those containers. So when I get this all started, I'll just put them in that one from up there. I'll have them come directly from there to here, and then they'll split out into those first 6, and then those first 6 will go to the packagers that are over there, and then the rest of these basically have to do the same thing that these ones are, but rather than having something like this, they're just gonna go straight to the other packagers. So I've got all these in, and I'm just gonna real quick go get everything wired up underneath and belted up to the top. Don't wanna bore you with the whole entire process, but I'll just real quick get the... Wait a damn minute. Oh yeah, no, these go underneath. I'm stupid. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Because I was about to take these up there, but that's not how that works. These go up there, and then these go here to these guys. Right, I remember now. Okay, your boy's a little stupid, but he figures it out eventually. Don't worry. Except do worry. I'm a little stupid. So what I'll probably do is have them come up and over the pipes and have some splitters to go down and down and down and down and down and etc. etc. But yeah, I'll just do that real quick. Okay, so this is gonna be quick because I've already spoken about this, but I realized a bit ago that I had not actually hit record when I thought I did. So I was talking to myself for about 2 hours for no reason. And I'm gonna get into what I was doing in just a bit. As you can see here, we have the conveyors in. These are gonna be bringing all the packaged water from right over there. They're just coming up from right underneath. Very simple little setup here. Just comes around from over there where the other building is. By the way, it is indeed a building now. Actually has a shape. We can go in here and see all the belts going into these little things that go underneath. These ones from the top as well. I don't know what I've done, but I bit my tongue somehow at some point, and now it's like legitimately difficult to talk because I keep like my tongue. It's between my teeth right now. It's so annoying. Anyway, you may also notice all the extra stuff on my right. The right of my screen. These are from some calculations that I did when it wasn't recording and should have been. Swear to God, I'm gonna rip my own tongue out. We need 160 fuel generators to keep up with the 53.3 whatever 3200 fuel per minute that we're gonna be producing. And I've decided we're gonna do it in 4 rows of 40. We've already got 4 here. 4 plus the 156 remaining in our list is 160, go figure. And then in these containers, I've gathered all of the necessary materials. We have all the motors, all the encased industrial beams, copper sheets, rubber, and quick wire. We have all of it. Now I just need to build out the floor. Yeah, that's it. I just need to build out the floor. And then pipe everything, obviously. According to my very basic calculations, this should be the right amount, but somehow I think I'm a little off. It was 4 rows of 40, and we're not gonna layer them up. I could do 8 rows of 20 and just have 2 layers, but I don't really want to do 2 layers. Okay, I've grabbed roughly a quarter, and I'm just gonna run them in a line. You know, starting to think I wasn't very wrong. No, that was pretty dead on, actually. This is fine. Give me a minute. Okay, it's actually a tiny bit shorter because this is 42 in a row, not 40. I was a little confused because this one here ended up several short. So it's only short by 4, which is a little weird because I need to go down by 6. And now he's only down by 2, I guess. I'd just do this now? I mean, unless I just had enough extra for 4 more. Okay. It is only 40. I guess I had grabbed one of these by accident. Didn't notice. Which means we can take off a couple of foundations. And that's it. So much for wanting to maintain a scale in this area. That pipe dream has launched itself out the window. Wow. Okay, that's a lot. Well, time to get all the pipes in, and then it'll at least be functional. The only other thing I'll have to do is put on pumps on some of these ones, and then the ones that are coming up from down there, and then it's a game. Hooray! Woo! It's a bit different. So as you might be able to tell, I have indeed gotten a bunch set up. So we have all the pipes for all of these. Every single one of these is connected. They've got fuel and they've got power. Well, they don't have power, but they will be making power and they're connected to these poles. Since this is such a high voltage thing and it's so long, I decided it would be better to make a fence. I'm considering putting a sign like here or above the door that's like danger high voltage, because it probably is. It very probably is, considering the number of massive batteries, the number of fuel generators, and all of the wires and power poles going around. And then it transfers into here and transforms, I guess, through the tower, even though it doesn't look like it does. It'd be nice if there was, like, some internal workings that, like, obviously you can't really get to. Like, some stuff on the inside that just looked like a transformer. Although you probably would lose the ability to actually go in it. Like you can here, I believe, right? You can just go in. Oh. Am I crazy? Like you can just go to here. And then you hit a ceiling. Okay, you can't go in there. So I think it would be really cool if they did some kind of like tech malarkey that they put in there and it was as a transformer platform. And I think that would be interesting and very cool, because that's what it's doing. It's hypothetically transforming from higher voltage to lower voltage. I'm pretty sure that's how it works with the big ones and the small ones, I think. But it transforms it in there, sends it out as the higher voltage to these things, and then the lower voltage would get distributed to, like, over there, which I'm gonna fix this whole setup soon so that it's being transmitted through these guys and distributed through that to the rest of it. Currently, not all of them are like that. There are some long lines of the small poles, which sucks because the big poles look better. So I need to fix that. And I will. But not right now. As I've been looking around, I'm sure you've noticed other things that have changed significantly. There's walls up there now, too. I think most of the rest of this is the same. I haven't changed it much. But there's some walls up there. I'm not final on those. I might change that still. these are where the pipes come down, sending the fuel into the ground and then underneath and then into all of those guys. It's a surprise that this many pipes runs that many generators times 4. There's four lanes. 4 lanes of, well, it was like 40, right? 4 lanes of 40. And then this is where all the pipes go down. They go So I have also connected up the electricity for all of the other factory sections. This one now has all of its all of its wiring running, going across, doing things. Right there is where it's gonna go to that guy-ish, maybe. And then next floor, and then the next floor is wired up, go figure. But everything in here is connected to power and it all functions. Same thing over here, it's all connected to power, those power poles there, and then these guys going up to those things. It's all connected. And then I also did this one here, I changed it a bit, got these walls in and put some batteries. I'm just kind of fitting the batteries pretty much anywhere I can because I'm gonna need them. And I'm really, really gonna need the batteries that are in here and then the batteries that are over there that are already filling up. I might have just a temporary bank of batteries, like a bunch of them, because we are a little bit low on power right now. So we have in the range of 230 to 260 megawatts of headroom on a max consumption of 1300. The max consumption of this is 4600. We literally cannot run that on our current system. And the batteries we only have 1400 megawatt hours. So if this doesn't get up and running within like 10 to 15 minutes, it's not gonna at all. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put down a bunch more batteries real quick. And now another problem as well that we need to keep an eye on is that we don't have the containers, the plastic containers going everywhere they need to yet. This is gonna take so many modular frames. Okay, I want to at least quadruple the amount that we have, which currently is 56 total. Let's just say 60. Minus 14 is 46. So we need to make 46 of those, which is mostly a modular frames problem, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. We're also gonna need to be able to make a truck and a truck station for the next thing, so I'll just put that on there already, which most of it is in here. I just need the modular frames numbers and the encased industrial beams numbers, I'm pretty sure. So let's go ahead and make 66 modular frames. Okay, let me grab the things out of here. You and you. And hopefully, I'll just go get more of that. Because the thing we're doing next, after we get the batteries in, which technically isn't necessary to do until it's done, but I want to give it time to charge. So it can be charging while I do the next part, and then it can be charging while I wait, I guess. Okay, we need rods and fancy plates. Rods are in here. Seeing we have 37 modular frames, we need to make 458. So if I just 458, we need 2,700 rods. That is good enough. And then we need a bunch of reinforced plate as well, which again, not being made right now. That factory has been turned off for months, actually. I keep thinking I need to like fix some of this and make it look better, and then I remember that I'm literally just going to remove it all completely as soon as I get a chance to move it up to the other factory. Actually, less of that than I thought, so let's just do that to make sure that we still have some in our inventory later. And make 458 modular frames. Give me like, I don't know, an hour?
Okay, there we go.
So then, ooh, I think we were missing the wire too. And the rest of the things that we need to pick up are in different places. So we're gonna go up there. Still so bafflingly huge. Uh-oh. So bafflingly huge, and it's not even done. Like, it's gonna get taller than that by a considerable amount. Honestly, I'm starting to forget my diagrams. I'm gonna have to go back and look again before I start building anything else. This thing is huge too. That's several legs. It's taking up several legs worth of space. That's concerning. But hey, I mean, we're gonna have multiple layers to this area. It's not just gonna be the one layer. There's gonna be several layers. Gonna be a lot of different height variations. Like some things on stilts, some things on massive like pillar platforms. It's gonna be very much, it's gonna be a lot. It's just gonna be a lot in general. That's it. It's gonna be a lot. So this battery facility might be permanent and have more added to it later. So I'm gonna find an actual place for it. Probably near here since this is a giant power station. But I don't know if I just want to put it like there, you know? Like I might have to go down that side. Because I don't really want to block that, but then also this space is not really gonna get used. So yes, I'll just put it here. Just a small kind of battery tower thing. Say out here, we can make it a 3x3? If I do 3x3, then each layer is 9, which means that eventually we'll just have some multiple of 9, or really some multiple of 3 for our batteries. And we're gonna make an actual building for that, not just one of these fenced off areas, because it is gonna have to have multiple layers. So it's gonna have real walls and beams and such. So let's see, do I have one of these towers or multiple of these towers? Because again, I still want to be able to see that factory, which, you know, from here, good. Just can't see it from a full side view without something blocking it. But I don't want it to get super tall. I could do this one here, you know, and then have one on the opposite side, maybe, opposite side of the center, so like here-ish. I think I might do that. But we're gonna need to have these walls going up. And you know what? I'm gonna do the same thing I did in my last save and have some of these ramp walls so that we get a kind of caution tape design. And I'm thinking what I'll do actually is I'll go make this in the blueprint designer, just because this would be really, really annoying if I had to do it every single time. If I make this yellow, and then turn up the saturation, if I make this 10, it turns orange. Okay, so that's gonna stay as 1. If I make this 10, it stays yellow, but not a significant yellow, which isn't good. I'll just do this. So then if I apply this color, kind of a bright yellow, and then we would do a black. Let me see what these are. Okay, so I have these colors somewhat saved. Oh, whoops. I'm gonna save this as, let's just say hyper black. Hyper black. And this one, possibly a bit more orange. Yellow, possibly a bit more green yellow. Oh, because the saturation is so high, it's not changing until like way into the green. And it's doing red, yellow, cyan, and magenta. So it is pushing really, really hard for ink colors, and then also red, because of course. So I think this is the most yellow we can get because of this. So let's just say ink yellow. How about ink yellow? Ooh, ink yellow aqua. What? That's not what I wanted. Save preset. Ink yellow. Thank you. So then I'll just use the ink yellow and the hyper black for the different colorings, because why not? I'm gonna have to change all of these, I forgot. There we go. Okay, I was slightly concerned about the things not being the right size, but since it's a square, it seems as though it is fine. So as you can see on this side, if I just stack this up, the next one will actually line up with it perfectly, which is great. It's gonna get a foundation in here, like that. Hopefully those are all facing the right direction. And then the next one's gonna have batteries on top of it. We're also gonna put these painted beams in the corners, and currently I'm really not sure what shape I want them to be. Or sorry, what color I want them to be. I could leave them as blue, but that clashes. I could, actually. I can try making them the same color as each bit that they're passing. Do I like that? Not really. It's weird. I forgot about the finishes. Copper doesn't work on this one. Pretty much at all. Do I want to do a metallic one in the corner? Because I could get the silver finish or whatever out of the awesome shop. Except I don't have any tickets on me, which sucks. Yoink. 89? Where'd I get 89 tickets from, dude? That's crazy. Let me make some screws. Oof, water. There we go. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, my throat has been in such an awful state. The allergies are terrible right now. My car is coated in pollen every time I go to work. And my throat, I believe, is also coated in pollen. I may as well just grab all of these because I'm rich now. Ooh, coated concrete. We need that. We need coated concrete. Patterns are nice, but technically currently unnecessary. And I need roofs. Need to get roofs. Anyway, let me purchase all of the finishes. Oh, somebody's got something to say.
Decoration and organization go hand in hand. Fix it HQ custodian, I always say. Use of these customizer features does not guarantee an aesthetically pleasing or user-friendly factory. That's the part that requires knowledge and skill.
Right. Okay, unpainted. It's silver and not very shiny. Looks like unpainted metal. Kinda hits, kinda like it. Chrome is just a slightly bluer version of that. Carbon steel is... Ooh, darkened metal. Ooh, okay. And then Caterium is, of course, gold. I think for this specific use case, unpainted is going to be the one we want. But that carbon steel one could be very, very useful at some point. This is good, and I need to make a copy of it in the blueprint designer. Can I make a blueprint? Yes. Yes, I can. Now I just need to do exactly this. Be nice if I could just, like, copy that over, huh? Power, storage, tower, module. Or maybe I put this here and just say PSTM. Say it's vertical with caution paint. It's gonna go in a new category, which has not been named, apparently. Power infrastructure? That's how you spell that, right? Electricity with a subcategory power storage. We're gonna put it there. But then we also have to change the icon. And then the color can be yellow, because that's the color of the building. Technically yellow and black, but you can only do one color. Save blueprint. Very cool. So now I should be able to go in here and here and here. Hooray! So then now I just have to build this up on top like that. Now I need to get iron plate because I didn't consider the actual building. And now I just have a bunch of stuff for power stations, power storages. And apparently I need more wire. I don't know where all my wire went, but also I need to clear this guy out so I can actually have this module that's in there too. We're just gonna connect this one down to here. And apparently I need to connect a lot more of these now. I don't know why this one specifically is not connected to this one. I don't know what happened there. So this just goes down layer by layer, connecting all of them up. And this one is what needs to connect to the outside world. As soon as I make this look right, I could just have a regular power cable going across, I guess. And then like that. Cool. Interesting. So these should all be connected now, right? Yes. And that has about doubled the amount of power that we can store. From 1400 to 3100. Maybe just like the one on top is not connected? Is it here? Is this where it happened? Yeah, probably, because I think I did say quadruple. Yeah, there we go, 59, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 45 of them here. This is where the 4 that are missing actually makes sense, because currently it's 59, and then 4 more than that is 63, which is a multiple of 9. Okay, yeah, I get it now. It's fine. Anyway, so as you can see, it's gonna take like 17, 18, 19 hours. Even if I turned everything off, it would still be like 4 hours before this all got in there. So I'm probably just gonna have to let this go overnight after, of course, I finish the truck thing, the copper, because we haven't done the copper yet. That's the only thing that we haven't done. Up here, the copper now has this guy and a belt going all the way up in apparently a bad spot because I'm so very good at this game. Good enough. Very cool. And this just kind of sits on top of the smelters, which is interesting and not terrible. Copper ingots. Copper ingots again. That one already had it. And this one should also have it. Yes. By the way, this is where the plastic containers are coming. It's not going to stay this way. Currently it is this way. It's not going to stay this way, I promise. But it's just coming out of here where they're being made 60 per minute, then going out and around, and then that way, and crossing these right now, which is the bad part. It's ugly. But then it goes down here, and it's going into that middle one right now, which is the slow people one. It's the one for the slow ones at the end there. And if I did this right, then it should fill that one there and go to the 6 in there that are slowed down to be that one, and then that sends it to that 6 in the back specifically, and then they do whatever, and yeah. So we should only be getting plastic containers on this line for quite some time, and then when this line is full and that guy is never emptying, I'll move it to this one, and then this one, and this one. So first things first. I don't know how those ended up yellow, but sure. We're gonna need to go down with the Explorer in a hopefully safe place to land. So I guess just down. Interesting. Interesting. What is happening? What is this game, dude? I can't actually make a truck right now, which sucks, but we still just have to scout the route anyway. Down here I have built this, but I haven't built much of anything else, aside from the belt that actually needs to come down here, which I didn't talk much about either. I'm really good at this YouTube stuff. I don't know if you noticed. Comes down here, like normal, and then goes across, like normal, and we'll have a belt coming up like that, and doing one of them. Now we only need like a certain amount per minute, obviously. Right now, real quick, I want to see if there's a coal node nearby. I don't think there is, and I was right. That sucks. And it actually looks like there's not a coal node near where I need to end up, because if there was, I could just use the coal for that. So we need to go in that direction-ish and figure out a route for how to get there using the truck. Okay, we get here. Where are we, and where would we end up? So if I pull a right, I'm not really sure if we can get up, but we could go this way, kind of meet up with that tractor, but then the issue is that tractor doubles back on itself, which is fine if it's just that tractor, but then if we start introducing the truck into that, then we could end up with a deadlock situation, and I really don't want that to happen. We're gonna have to try to figure something else out. We can drive through here. It's really tight, and if it turns out that we only need the one truck, then we should be fine. But if we end up needing 2 trucks or more, it could end up causing some serious issues. Although I think there is enough space if I just carefully drive through this section and not bean through it like a friggin' maniac. And then we just stay in our lane and we reach a slightly more paved area, but I'll probably have to clear out some trees. And then same thing here. I'm gonna have to clear out some trees, and we'll have the right-hand side go up this way through where these trees are currently and soon will not be anymore. And then the other guy goes around that little bend, and then we roundabout like a normal person. But see, again, here's the issue. We run into a place where the tractor backpedals on itself instead of being normal. Like, it basically crosses its own path. It does have some space here to, like, go on this side. And then we would want to go... probably not down this way, because, yeah, so just down here and then down. Just try to steer wide of that turn and then steer sharp on this turn. And then go up that hill right here. So we'd come through on this side, a sharpish right, cross over to the other side, and hopefully we would find a way up. That doesn't seem like it's gonna happen, actually. So I need to build a ramp. There is some sulfur up here too, so I'm gonna want to steer clear of that so that I can still put down a miner and all on that. Let's see, we need to go this way, continuing up the hill thing. No, this way instead. So then we go all the way across here, and we have some copper. So we'll build up a little area around here, and all we need is 90 per minute. So let's see, this is a impure stop, which means we need at least a Mark II miner, which is fine. Just need to do one of these little guys. Mark II miner, very cool. And then truck station, which I may or may not have the materials for. I do. Let's go. We're gonna want this to be farther away from the miner itself. There should be fine. And then let's see. Power is gonna be closest this way. So I think what I'll do is put out a little section, a tower. Make sure that it's at least somewhat out of the way. Connect it to both of these, and then the top will go to that direction. So that connects just fine. So here we'll have one guy come up and go in there, then around, and then down this way. So I need to get a ramp down to there, or I could just bridge over to that. Could make a bridge that goes over there and just has a span in the middle, like right there. So anyway, we would drive around that corner and go up here in the trucks, obviously, and hopefully they'll make it up that ramp. I think they should be able to do that, I hope. And we'll go this way, try to stay towards the right side of the road. You're gonna have to get rid of some more trees. Come around this way. Do the thing. Leave. Go around this way on also the right side of the road, trying to avoid oncoming traffic. And it'll be easier on the way back, because we'll at least be able to see where we came from. But I am still definitely gonna have to get rid of a lot of trees. Stop it! Leave me alone! I have not tested this, but I heard a thing. Can I... Oh my gosh. This is so much easier than I ever thought it could be. That's hilarious. Bruh! That's crazy! There you go. Second try is the charm. Oh, hey guy. Oh, whoops. It wasn't me. Is he dead? Am I just petting a corpse? Okay, I'm pretty sure I've figured out a good route. So now I just gotta go pick up that stuff again and build the truck. And then drive the route, hopefully not skidding the whole way. Oh, okay. Might have to get rid of some of these little guys too. But also, pretty sure the truck isn't as fast as the Explorer anyway, so I'm gonna have to take that guy out too. which is annoying because he just spawned a bunch of little guys. Oh, right, these trees. I forgot. Let's see. We're gonna start the truck path out here, I believe. Oh, right, the stuff. Okay, now with the truck. Like I said, we're gonna start out here-ish, drive forward, and then somebody has to be in the way, because why wouldn't you be? Ah! So we'll open this, start recording, and then throw ourselves around because, of course, drive around in the water a little because it's fun. Let's go under this guy. Okay, I'm sure it'll be fine. We're gonna do a little weird. Cross there. Join with this guy. Pretty quickly split from that guy. Then go up here on our fancy bridge that is not finished at all. And then we're gonna have him go this way. I almost went the wrong direction, but let's not talk about that. And then we dock here, take all the cargo, and then we just go around here and go back. And now for this to make much sense at all, we're just gonna merge this way, merge here, and then turn left and merge again, following where the tractor goes. And then we're gonna end up on the outside here, where we can slowly pull in, unload our cargo from here, even though it's not gonna do anything because we don't have any power. And then we turn around and finish the loop. Can't save it yet because it's broken. I gotta fix the issue that I made over here. Other than that, we're actually good because I didn't really do any massive problems. Aside from this, obviously, because I thought I could go under it, but unfortunately I was just a little bit too tall. And that's how we're gonna get copper here. Okay, he seems to be fine. And he's just gonna sit there and wait because this thing isn't doing anything. But as soon as it does turn on, he will. Which means now, we literally just have to wait until the batteries are full and the factory can be turned on. 11 to 13 hours? It's not even gonna be done by the time I get out of bed. Okay, so indeed we have filled up the batteries. It took a while. It actually took until like 4 p.m. when I started them going at like 1 in the morning. So kind of tracks, but still, it it took a while. What I did in the meantime, these here and some of these guys, some of them were doing this weird thing where like one of them was looping into the next one, which I decided I should probably pay attention to and fix. Because like, I think that one was gonna end up on this belt. If I put stuff in there, it would end up coming through on this belt, which in some cases would be nice, but it wasn't like, none of it was paid attention to, it just kind of happened. Like that one went to there, these three all went to the right place, or maybe that one went to one of these ones, I don't remember. But now I fixed it. This one, if you follow through the belts, it goes into a container, and then it goes down into a set of 8 packagers, and then the packaged water goes down and into a specific set of 8 refineries over here. I believe these first 8 ones. And then they go into the 8 corresponding unpackagers, the fuel does, and then it comes back down this belt specifically. Same with all the other ones, they all go to a very specific set of refineries, packagers, unpackagers, etc., and then they go back to the same container that they came from. We have 7 individual loops, which just go through the same buildings. And then of course the numbers are different for the pipes, so they just kind of go to whichever ones are easiest. Plan is, I'm gonna plug everything in and just hope that it's all working. I'm gonna do some real quick final flight checks. Okay, see, it wasn't full speed yet, so we need to do that. And they're both gonna be pushing 300, which is gonna fill up these pipes completely. Although technically some of them can go to 301. You are pushing 600. Please don't tell me I got the wrong numbers and I'm stupid. I'm pretty sure... Oh no. Is this... what are you? Oh my god. It's wrong. It's wrong anyway. How did I manage that? Man, I really should have checked that. I don't know why I didn't check that. I should have checked that hours ago. I should have checked that weeks ago. We are honestly just gonna have to deal with that later. At this stage, there is literally nothing I can do about that. I guess what I might do, I can switch it out so that the other apparently pure one is pushing 600, and then the one that's not pure is only pushing 300. And the 300 one can go into a different section that's just making, like, I guess it could be focusing plastic and rubber, because the one I have now isn't really making a whole lot of that. So I could have that go into making as much plastic and rubber as possible, and we could increase the material productivity. But for now, I'm just gonna hope this is fine. Okay, that all plugs in, and we are immediately using so much. We have more time than I thought, but that's probably gonna go away pretty quick, because that's just the idle. So these are gonna be making these things. I need to make sure that the pumps are good. The polymer resin is fine. Okay, no, we're good. It's fine, it works. And the other one's moving now too. Should be the same on the other side, because they're pretty much identical. These guys, yeah, they're making the rubber and the plastic now too. The water is flowing, lovely. These guys should be making the stuff just like the other side was. And yes, it should be going to the other side. We just need the plastic to start getting made here so that the containers can go down there at about 60 per minute. And it's already cycling? Okay. So there should be some fuel getting sent down slowly and eventually, probably. But it is going to take a while, because it has to go down and then pool all down there and then send up to wherever it's supposed to go. I really hope this works. We kind of want it to back up in that guy, though. We want it to back up there so that that one is never empty. Each container of containers needs to be never empty from containers. It needs to always have containers in it. What are you missing? Crude oil, of course you are. It is still going up to here, but the flow rate is abysmally low. Probably trying to fill up this bottom section first, although you have a lower flow rate now, which is annoying. Or maybe you have a higher flow rate, or maybe you have a lower flow rate. Man, this is annoying. Well, I hope it will fill up eventually and be fine. What's the power doing right now? Still draining pretty consistently, considerably, and we are not producing any more yet, probably because we haven't made enough fuel for that. The only refineries we would be using are the ones that are at the very end, because we're using the small terrible one that only uses like, what, 5 1/3 of the refineries? Yeah, see, they're making stuff. They're making the fuel. How well are they making the fuel? Seems like we're low on heavy oil residue. I'm not surprised by that at all. Oh, that might be a concern. We're gonna be backing up the rest of these because we don't have the packages to go in them, which means that the refineries making the plastic to make the packages are gonna slow down. This could be not so good, but I'm hoping it'll just work itself out. So you can see how these are backing up, right? Like you would with a normal manifold system, and apparently running low on water. I don't know why that would be the case. Oh, did I miscalculate something? Okay, these top 5 take 53 and something, and then these bottom 5 all take, is it 60? 60. So this should still be fine. 600 per minute should be fine. If it were running 600 per minute, that is. What is with you? Why does everything hate me? This should be easy. Do I need to go check on the water making downstairs? Do I actually need to go look? Why do you have so little water? Like, these bottom ones aren't even taking anything. Why are you going so slow? See, this is what I was worried about. We're making the containers way slower now because the heavy oil residue is all backed up because it doesn't have anywhere to go. So the plastic can't be made. Why are these guys barely running? Is this a heavy oil residue thing too still? No, okay, the heavy oil residue is fine. Now it's the water. Okay, I really just need to check on those water pipes, huh? Why aren't you running? You're full. How are you full and yet it's not working upstairs at all. It's really nice when this game does things that just don't make any sense. The server will restart in 2 minutes. Okay, that's when midnight happens. Really hope this doesn't crash and destroy everything. Goodbye. Huh? Why? What was that? I'm so confused. Okay, this seems to be running just fine now. It's maxing out its flow rate. And these guys seem to be maxing out the flow rate too, which is nice. I need more water. Oh, it's backing up a little. It's backing up, and I can't tell if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Considering how little water is in this pipe, I'm gonna say it's probably not a great. It's not good. It's terrible, actually. I don't understand. It's just not pumping it up there for some reason. Even though this one is doing it just fine, but these ones just kind of aren't. This shouldn't need to be here, but I'm gonna put it here anyway, just in case. Okay, now they all have pumps, so I know for a fact it has enough head lift to get up and go where it needs to go, even though it should already have enough head lift. I really don't know why else there would be an issue that would cause this to run pretty much not at all. At least the box seems to be backing up now, but again, I don't know if that's because we're filling up on the containers or because they're just not being used because the water isn't coming in fast enough. Based on all the yellow I'm seeing, I really think it's the water. Have we made any power at all yet? We have, at some point, made power. Oh no, we're making some. A little. You know what? I'm going to move this to the next thing. So now it'll be putting containers on this guy instead, which means they'll go through into a different set of those, and maybe it'll just feel a little bit better about itself if it's got more of it going. I don't know, I'm grasping at straws here. And that should come down on the belt right next to the ones that's already running. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it is coming through on the right one at least. Okay, what if I go down here and replace those excess pumps that I added with some fluid buffers? Would that potentially help anything at all? Can I even make that many fluid buffers? The answer is no. Mr. Truck, I have a request. Can I do this, and then you just kind of stay here? I need a bunch of modular frames. It appears that distance is not a concern when interacting with the crafting bench on a vehicle. Yeah, he's all the way over there. I'm just gonna put some fluid buffers down here and hope it helps anything at all. Now the fill rate is 600 and the drain rate is going up and going back down, but also this isn't the one that's currently being used. So I'm just hoping that it speeds this up, and it has immediately slowed back down a lot. How does that make it worse? How does that seriously make it worse? What the heck, man? Seems like we're pretty consistently over the production consumption line, at least. So that's nice. Seems though we don't have to worry so much about running out of power, but I really would like for this to work! I'm gonna flush the whole thing, just see if that changes anything at all. I'm gonna flush it all, let it start over, and see if that fixes it. See, the flow rate is reasonable. It's got a full 600 per minute flow rate. If this doesn't fix the problem, it should at least tell me where the problem is, when it stops flowing so well. But it does seem to be running full speed now. Flow is good. Flow is still good. Even down there, the flow is still good. Did that just fix it? I mean, I really hope it did, because that would mean I don't have to deal with it anymore. But a part of me feels like it's a little too much to hope for, and this guy's actually running at a full 600 per minute!
Oh, let's go! Oh, and I can see the pipes filling. It works.
Oh, thank you. Okay, good. Okay, it functions. So now that this is running full speed, and these are not slowing down, I want to make sure that we do have enough containers in that loop, which it might not, because it is going down. Like, kinda a lot. Might have to split that a little bit. So then whatever containers we are making, even though, again, we're not doing it very much, it's gonna split to both that are currently taking some. Although maybe it won't need it because it seems even now. I do still want to top it up a little more if possible, but, you know, it does seem like that part is fully functional now. So I guess really now, all I need to do is keep letting these containers come in and fill up. Why does that look so small? Seriously? Did you break again? Why? What the hell? You were working! What happened? I'm gonna watch a tutorial. I just switched out a bunch of the pipes, and it seems to be functional now. Like, it's stuck at a pretty consistent 600, 500. I'm hoping it just stays that way. If not, I mean, there's more of the pipes that I could take out and replace. So hopefully that would do it, I guess. I'm really hoping this continues to just function. It is only around 250, but that's about what I would expect right now. It's 5 times 53 something, which is, you know, around not quite 300 per minute. So it is wildly fluctuating, but it seems to be hopefully fine. It might be on the low side, which isn't good. But these are all turned on, so I guess I'll just keep an eye on it. And these guys over here are still working fine. They haven't had any issues with the water. It's still just the containers, because we don't have enough of them in the loop yet. That one's gonna need more in the loop anyway to begin with. And we have less of it going in now. I mean, it's more than it was before, when this one was still so much slower, but still not very much. Now, I do believe we are, yeah, we're pretty consistently over the consumption line by like a lot. Production up towards the 8,500 megawatt range. And I really, truly, honestly, just need to sit here and fill up these things for the next 5-6 hours. Now that the major issues have been solved. Okay, alright. I do believe I have mostly got it functioning. As you can see, we have a pretty solid 41,500 now. It was struggling a little, but I did some magic, some witchcraft, and I think it might be a solid line now. I don't know if it's gonna stay a solid line forever, but it should. I've gone through and I've made sure that, oh, never mind, it's not. Well, anyway, I've gone through and I've made sure that all of the pipes are carrying the right amount of fluid and they're not doing anything weird and everything should be fine. And these are all good, you can see, except that one. So I should probably check that lane and see what's wrong with it. Of course, as soon as I get here, they're all in line, being functional. It all seems fine, even though it's not. Like, I can see gaps. I can see gaps in almost all of them, actually. But there shouldn't be any gaps, because it should be making 480 for every lane, except the one in the middle, which should have a lot of gaps, because it's slow. But we're getting a bunch of gaps, and I'm not sure where the gaps are coming from, because it could be from any number of problems. Could be the water in here. That's what it was before. But I think all of these pipes are fine. Yeah, these are all the pipes are full, and they've got good flow. Some of them have very weird flow, but all the machines are full of water, so it's not that. And then they're all full of the containers as well, because we have the backlog of the containers in these guys, which should all be full, or not full, but at least still have some. This one is somewhat concerningly low, but it's still there, so... Okay, so then the next possible issue is these guys most likely not having enough heavy oil residue. But I had already gone through and tried to make sure that they had the maximum fill. Like, see, all of these are nearly full at least. Let me just go down the line and check them, I guess. You are a little low, but you're going to exactly the same number every time, so... What I can do is turn off one of the ones that are full of the heavy oil residue, like these ones. Turn one of them off for every lane, and then the other ones that aren't full will fill up. So like this guy, since he's full, for the next lane, I'll turn him off. And then the water might back up a little bit again, but not a huge deal. And we'll eventually get to the point where all of the refineries are full, and then we shouldn't have any times where we just randomly aren't producing enough. Again, the only real weird ones are these ones at the end, because they're using moderately less than we actually need them to be, because they're using a specific decimal point. I could hypothetically break it down to 2, and then they would use not a decimal, but it would still be, like, I would have to overclock it, because currently these are all taking 53.3 repeating, and there is 6 of them, so it's a total of 320, and if we divide that by 2, it's 160, and then the fuel or the heavy oil residue was half that. It was 26.67 whatever, so it would be like 80, which means that we could just put it into 2 of them, because it's 60, and then 60 times 2.5 is like 180, which is more than 160. Oh, maybe I can't. But yeah, no, since that's like weird decimal points, this one is always going to be a little bit off, which is upsetting, and I wish it wasn't that case. I don't know if there's really a good way to fix it, unless I do 4 and have them both do 80. Again, that's overclocking them. It might just be better that way, since it'll be more efficient, and I am producing a lot of power, so if I turn off these 2 outside ones, can I set these to 80? See, but then again, now the percentage is 133.3 repeating. I don't know if the number is the lead or if the percentage is the lead. And then I also have to reconfigure the belts on the other side, because currently they're all going up to the same 6 ones, but now that doesn't work, because 2 of them aren't running. So I guess I can just do the same thing here, make each of these do 80, and then the ones on the outside are deprecated. And maybe this will be better just because it'll be a solid number. It looks the same. Like, it looks like it's still working just fine. Pipes should still run pretty much just the same, and it'll take some time to maybe see any benefit from that in terms of how solid the power line is. At this stage, I don't think we're gonna run into any catastrophic failures. Also, production... Oh, right, because I stopped it, that's why. I need to fix that. I forgot. I need to unpause them now. But hopefully all the other ones are full now? It seems like they are. Okay, yeah, all of them are full now of the heavy oil residue, and then most of these pipes are full too. There's some that aren't, but not a big deal. Okay, let me check that power line again, because it should change in just a bit whenever the fuel starts getting back up, because I did literally just turn off like a quarter of it. Okay, I've done some doing, but I cannot seem to keep it consistent, which is annoying. It's not life-ending, but it is annoying, and I'm really not sure if it's a pipe issue or if everything just kind of hates me a little. I'm sure that the pipes are not helping, because now I've left them for so long that some of them are actually full, which I guess I can fix by flushing these sections, but not the full network, because it should give us a little more wiggle room, and maybe that will help, or maybe it won't. But it seems mostly fine, so I'm just gonna say we did it. We did it good. I'm only just now realizing that with the 3 additions that I made to this factory, there is really no angle where I can get every part of it in a single thumbnail, which is not the best, but also not life-ending. Yeah, see, here I get that, and this, but I miss out on the building that's on the other side. To be fair, the building that's on the other side is the most boring one and the least important one, so I'm thinking I want to take the thumbnail from over there. So I get this all the way across, and then that, and then that, and then this off on the right for composition. Let's see, how's this angle? It hints at it, but doesn't let you know that there's all that. Okay, I think here's good. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed me reworking my entire factory. It needed to be done, but it still took quite some time. Again, not exactly finalized on the design of especially this building. So if anybody does have any suggestions for some design things that I could do, things I could change, I might just remove those walls there. They're kind of unnecessary, and it would probably look better that way. But I'm not sure yet. Anyway, like I said, if anybody has some suggestions, I would love to hear them. And next time, if some kind of genius strikes me, we'll fix it. But we're also going to move on to either turbo fuel or moving all of my old factories up onto this platform. Probably that, actually. I really need to get my production fixed for some of the other things. Of course, now that I have a lot more power, I don't have to worry so much about the number of factories I have actually working, which is nice. I got way farther in the game on 10,000 megawatts last time than I am currently on now 40,000. So I think I have quite a bit of room left for getting some factories going. I don't have to worry about power for quite some time. But anyway, if you did enjoy, go ahead and come back next time, because either we're doing more of this, or we're moving all of our old production, iron plates, iron rods, fancy plates, the rotors, we're moving all of that up here. And probably getting some modular frames, finally, because it has been literally the entire game. And I do not believe I have made a single modular frame in anything aside from a crafting bench or the back of a vehicle. But I'll catch you next time. Definitely not in a week, because I need a break from this game. I really just gotta wait here for like 30 some odd minutes before it can be a good thumbnail. Man.